Okay, what you're going to want to make sure that you don't do, I'm going to warn you about this danger because you're all going to want to try to do this. Don't resize your pictures using the handles on the pictures like this, okay? Do not do it. Resist the urge. Now there's a reason for this, okay? The reason is that most browsers won't render that size change exactly accurately. And the original image that's in your folder, this one right here, is still going to be the same size pixel-wise or size-wise. It's just that the way that it's displaying on the page is going to be smaller or bigger. So it's going to take up just as much room on the server as if it were ginormous. So if you really want to have fast loading speeds and have an image that's only as big as you need it to be, you've really got to resize it in Photoshop. Now, the nice thing about working in CS5, which is what we use, is that you can actually edit in Photoshop just by clicking that button right there. And technically speaking, the image should open in Photoshop. I don't know why it didn't necessarily, but that's okay. We're not going to necessarily, it's probably, I don't know why. Don't worry about it. You know how to get Photoshop open, and you know how to open an image in Photoshop, so. Okay, now, next thing we might want to have on this here site is a navbar, okay? So put your cursor up here by the header and hit enter. And what you're going to do is go up to insert, and you're going to go to HTML, and you're going to want text objects, and you're going to want an unordered list. Voila, and you will have an unordered list. It has bullets, but it's unordered. Hit enter. About us, our locations, contact us. Okay, pretty good like that. Let me just capitalize that O. Now if we look into code view right now, what we're going to see is this. We've got an unordered list, and then these are the list items that are inside the unordered list. Alright, so let's say we want to get rid of these bullets here, okay? What we're going to have to do is we're going to have some style associated with this list. The problem with associating style with a list is that it can be really difficult to make it work just using the plusy button. It's not really all that easy to do in Dreamweaver, unfortunately, when it comes to lists. Which is, see, it does, yeah, well, let's go into the code view and let me just show you a couple things here that you can do. Alright, let me get rid of this list down here that I had. Oh, I guess I must have blown that out. I thought I commented it out, but maybe not. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fool Dreamweaver into doing some fancy footwork here. And so I'm going to go back into Design View, and I am going to click the plus button, and I'm just going to make a style called navbar, just like that. And it's going to apply to this document only, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to go into my box model. No, I lied. I'm going to go into block. I always get these mixed up. Go into block. And down here in, no, we're doing this backwards. Go to list. Okay. Just go to list. When you get here, I'll wait for you. You've got a style here. We're trying to get rid of the bullets. I'm doing something else at the same time and I got confused. Where it says list style type, use this drop down right here and select none. And then click OK. Now nothing's going to happen because we haven't actually applied it yet. Now you could go here and you could apply it and it'll get rid of those bullets for you. But let's look at what happened in code view. Do you see how it put the class equals navbar in each and every one of these silly list items? That gets a little bit redundant. It does. So I'm going to do this a little bit of a different way. I'm going to get rid of all of this. Actually, I could probably just go up here to edit, undo. Let's do that. What I'm going to do instead is that I am going to apply a pseudo class. I'm going to say navBar UL. I think I can do it this way. Navbar LI. This style type none. Let's take a look. No, it didn't work. Oh. Okay, I see why. Navbar UL, comma. This is going to take me a little fooling around, guys. Bear with me. This is sometimes what happens when you do things a little bit differently. Navbar LI, list style type equals none. Now, in the unordered list, I'm going to have to actually go class equals navbar. And then I go back over here, and yeah, my bullets are gone. Okay, so let me show you what I did. This is actually called applying, well, it's called applying a pseudo class, but it's, what you can do is you can set up a class, and then you can take the specific thing that you want to target under that class, and you can add it just like that. And then I've put a comma here. Let's try this and see what happens. Let's just get rid of the navbar li and see if that still works. No. You see, we've got to target the list. Right now, the way this is working is it's just targeting the unordered list. Okay? So my style navbar is only targeting the unordered list, but it's not getting at those list items. Now, I could go like this, but it's still not going to work. Oh, it is working. Look at that. How about that? I didn't think it was going to work because I thought, well, lo and behold. So that's even better. I thought we were going to have to do something else, but this is even better. Now let's look at this beautiful piece of code that we have in front of us here. So I've made a style called navbar, and I'm applying it to the unordered list navbar, which means that the list that is part of the navbar won't have any bullets. All right? That way you don't have to put class equals navbar along every single one of these list items. Now let's try another thing here. Display inline. Let's see what that does. Aha! Look at that. Do you see how I just made all of the items go out horizontally like that? So now we're having something that's a little bit more like a navbar that's stretched out. And I can also go padding, 5 pixels, and border, 1 pixel solid, and then let's just make it gray, like that. Don't forget your commas, your semicolon, and let's see what we got. How about that? Isn't that groovy? I'm going to save my work. And there you go. You're beginning to get a navigation bar. So I think we might call that a day with the navigation bar. Get yourself to this point. Obviously, you can have some colors in here too. Now if you wanted to do the idiot box editing with this navbar li, just pull your CSS rules over here and double click on that. And you'll be able to do things like the background color, the border, the list. See, there's my list style type none. Okay? So you should have some fun with that. And at the end of the day, you should have yourself something that kind of approximates this. Obviously not the same image, but you get the idea.